TheWatermanFiles.
Dit is ArgusoogRadio.
We interrupt this program for a special announcement. Thousands of extra IRS agents have been added to the federal payroll to arrest Americans that refuse to pay for the new compulsory national health care insurance plan. 38 states refuse to allow this to happen, and state militias are preparing to protect those who are not willing to pay. Back to regular programming. This is John Waterman coming to you from deep inside the castle, and you're listening to the Waterman Files. What I just read is true. What you just heard is true. The United States federal government has just hired their Federal Reserve enforcement agency called the IRS, having just last month bought thousands of 12-gauge shotguns to help IRS agents in the field. So we have quite a bit of world government coming about. We have a traditional states' rights versus federal rights, organic law versus admiralty occurring. And many people do not know that this could or could not become almost a war. But it's happened before. We've had something called the Civil War. I wanted to bring you that information. In the meantime, today we have a guest. The guest today is Eli James. Is Eli on the line?
I think so.
Hi, Eli.
Me? Hi.
Well,
Hi, Doc.
Last week, Eli outlined for us compelling information to tell us who the Anglo-Saxons are.
Right.
And if you want to just give us a summary of what you did last time, and then I think he's going to move forward with a whole different direction. And it won't be easy to keep me quiet today, Eli. I'm losing my voice, so.
Okay. Yeah, something sounds wrong there. Maybe you need a shot of Southern Comfort.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. You know, the existing medical model is broken. Now, okay. when I taught pre-med and nursing anatomy in the university or college setting, I told them that they were getting into a broken existing medical model.
Right.
And so we had some pretty hot debates about that. And of course, I wrote a paper that goes to the ivory towers to be reviewed, and my philosophy was not compatible with the existing model because I'm a biological medical arena person. I don't prescribe every drop of the hat or antibiotics. So, we have a situation where they want us to go into it like France or Europe actually in America, where, for example, even using the broken medical model, 90% of the breast cancer patients survive, while in Europe only 79% of them survive. But today the main topic is who we are, and this
who are we? Yes.
Yeah, and Eli, this actually is relevant about what's going on with the healthcare plan, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is, because the fact is we have what's called the eighth beast. The eighth beast, and we probably won't get into it today, save it for a future episode possibly, that the eighth beast is talked about in the book of Revelation, chapters 18 and 19, okay? And that is, it's defined as a world empire of merchants, And it also talks about that this eighth beast has the power of sorcery, okay? But that word sorcery comes from the Greek pharmakia. Okay.
Pharmacy, yes.
There
Drugs.
you go. Okay. And so the whole world has been, kept in a kind of state of, delusion, non-sanity because of all the drugs that we're taking, and the more drugged up we are, the more sanity we lack, okay? The more unable we are to make intelligent decisions, and we have to rely on doctors to make decisions for us, healthcare decisions, and they're not really qualified because their medicine is not about health. It's about disease. Okay. Okay.
That's you sound like me now in a lecture.
Yeah, right. Right. And so if you want to stay healthy, stay away from doctors. Okay. Eat right, get plenty of sleep, and don't take unnatural substances. Okay. But we're being addicted to unnatural substances, and they're hawking them just like the snake oil man in the Old West, came with a covered wagon, and he had various potions that were filled primarily with alcohol. Right. Alcohol will cure anything in a short period of time, for a short period of time, okay?
Snake oil.
Yeah, snake oil, exactly. And the snake oil these days is just more sophisticated, and it's sold through television and radio, not from the back of a covered wagon, right? But it's still snake oil. And most of the diseases we have today are due to the fact that we're just living in an unhealthy manner, okay?
Yeah, and that's so true. These people that are moving this agenda for healthcare forward, wasn't too many years ago that I would have thought that they just had our best interest at heart.
Right.
So you got to ask the question, what's really behind the scenes?
Yes.
Now, that Ohio Congressman Kucinich, who's usually been kind of like a Ron Paul of the Democrats, he gets on a jet with Obama after he gets off the jet. Well, before he got on the jet, he was voting against it, and when he got off, he was voting for it.
Right.
Somebody said, well, maybe he joined the Mile High Club.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about these kind of people, in my opinion, just don't act human. As I refer to a white Anglo-Saxon, I mean, we're talking about half of them half of that guy called president is an alien, and that's just my opinion. But go ahead, Eli.
Yeah. Well, the same people who have created this pharmakia society have also created a false reality with regard to the scriptures, okay? Because when you look around the world and you look at the pharmaceutical companies and you look at the publishing companies, you look at the media companies and the banking companies, et cetera, you find you have a great number of Jews in those situations, okay? And last time we talked about the fact, we covered the marks of Israel, that the Israelites would be known as farmers. They would be known as yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
They would be known as builders. They would be known as a company of nations and companies of nations, and that there would be kings that come out of the Israelites. And none of these things is true of the Jews. Okay, so yes.
So you've identified for us,
right,
the marks that are supposed to be what you and I on the street might call actual Jew.
Right.
But the proper, more historical, accurate term would be Israelite, right?
Israelite, yes. And we in Christian identity, and the religion that I teach is called Christian identity. And the reason it's called identity is because we white Anglo-Saxon Caucasians, we identify ourselves as the Israelites of the Bible. That's why we use this word identity. It's very important.
And so the dialogue about the Jew then is the usurper of that identity. Is why